YouTube. For today's video, we have a brand new series, Pokemon Moveset Guides. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, and I'm finally going to get to it. So we're going to be having a look at Maushold tonight, and this Pokemon is absolutely crazy. Now, if you'd like to see me do lots more Moveset Guides, or you like this new idea of this series, please show some support by dropping a like on the video, and maybe leaving a comment there if this set helped you out, or you've got another moveset idea. I'd love to hear all your opinions. Alright, let's get on to these movesets here. I'll be using Showdown just to show you what the movesets are in terms of EV spreads. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to break it down into some competitive movesets, and then I'll be giving some classic PIMPNITE meme movesets. So you get the best of both worlds there with some competitive and some fun. Let's start off with the competitive. Now, yesterday I did do a Pokemon sweep on this, but I wanted to go more in depth because there's actually quite a few little variations of moves and items that actually work. We're going to be looking at the first Maushold here, or Maushold. I think it's how you say Maushold, so I think I'm going to start calling it like that. So obviously we got the classic Tidy Up set. Tidy Up is such a good move. It boosts your attack and speed by 1 stage, and it also clears up any substitute and hazards on the field. So it's a very, very strong move, as well as boosting your stats. Obviously we got its new move, the Population Boom. This hits 10 times in a row, which is absolutely wild, at 20 base power, which is boosted by technique, which is absolutely insane. 90% accuracy is pretty dang good. It is a little bit of a problem there, and you can run like multiple items on this, which I'm going to go through in a sec. Another pretty cool move I'd run it would be Beat Up. If you are going to run Beat Up, it's good for like, you know, ghost types coming into population. Obviously being a normal type move, it's good. But with that moveset, you sort of have to leave with it. So you can do something different, say like Crunch would work very nicely in that place. For example, another good move on it is Substitute as well, because most of the time you're going to be using its signature move here, and you know, you're just going to be using Crunch obviously when another Pokemon comes in that is Ghost, or just swapping in general. Now it does have the ability Technician, which is great, so that's going to boost any moves of 60 base power or less by 1.5 times, which works beautifully with this move. And if it hits all 10 times in a row, it's going to hit very hard. Now looking at its stats here, this is my EV spread. I like to run Jolly on this because you want to be going first, obviously. Now, its attack stat isn't really that great at 75. It's just the sheer amount of hits that population actually does, and it's so powerful, right? Now, you could opt to go for an adamant moveset here if you want, but you're definitely missing out on speed, and I'd highly suggest, you know, having Jolly there. You can always go for a Tidy Up if you have a substitute up, maybe on a swap, or you feel like you can tank the hit. Now, looking at its overall bulk, it's not super duper bulky, so it's going to take a lot of damage from most things, so you really just want to be getting your Tidy Up and then tidying up the sweep. Now, this can work as a sweeper late game or even early game as well. Now, a couple of item suggestions. I know a lot of people, like, you know, said in my video yesterday, my Maushold sweep there, well, you can check the link out in the description of the video too. They said, you know, PIMPNITE, why didn't you use King's Rock for? Now, I'm going to tell you why I didn't use it. Now, King's Rock is an excellent item with multi-hitting moves, especially when this one lands 10 times in a row. It does have a 90% accuracy though, so that means it's not always going to land 10 times. And what I mean by that is each individual hit is 90% accuracy. So that means you could possibly go one hit, then miss, and then you've only landed once. So that's why I think King's Rock is more of a gimmicky item on this compared to something more competitive, right? The competitive item I reckon would be the best to run on this is Wide Lens, and Wide Lens is great because it actually increases the accuracy by 1.1 times, which gives Population Boom 99% accuracy every single hit. So you're virtually almost guaranteed it to land 10 times. And you're actually really unlucky, like me, and I missed it on the very first hit. Anyway, but that's I'd say that's the most competitive item I'd run on there myself. Now, you can go for some other sort of items that would probably work on there. I know a lot of people would say, yo, you should use Loaded Dice. Let me explain to you what Loaded Dice does, because there is a couple of misconceptions with this item. Now, Loaded Dice is very good on a move, let's say, for example, Bullet Seed, right? We want to use Bullet Seed, which is a 2 to 5 turn move. Now, what Loaded Dice does, Loaded Dice virtually works on multi-hitting moves, which are 5 times, so it'll always guarantee 4, which is great for Bullet Seed, but, you know, Population has got 10 hits, so let's say you get 4 hits. Well, what happens if it doesn't work on the next one? You only hit 4 times. So I'd say loaded dice is better for moves like Bullet Seed, you know. That's much better, and I feel that's more of a gimmicky item on there rather than something really competitive like Wide Lens. Now, another item that could definitely work on there well, I'm going to bring up another moveset here, is Choice Band. Now, you might think, well, you know, this is going to be hitting pretty hard. You don't have Tidy Up to boost your stats. I still think this works very well. It sort of reminds me of Cincino as well. It's skill link set. It's very similar to it. So it's got Population Bomb. You've got U-Turn as well. This still hits very hard with Choice Band, especially if you get like a lot of hits too. You've got U-Turn for a little bit of switching out there as well, and momentum. You've also got Bullet Seed as well. Still hit pretty hard with Technician. And you've got Airways too, so any fighting types come in, you can just like hit them pretty hard. It's not really going to be a super hard hitter unless for this here, and I'd say definitely that mostly the Tidy Up is going to be working the best there compared to Choice Band, but it's nice to have some different sort of move options here as well. You have a look at the Terror type. That's something I need to actually explain. So with the Terror typing on it too, I'd probably go something like use something like Dark, because Dark is pretty nice if you got like, say you've got like, let's say Crunch or something like that. That would be a very good Terror type to turn into, because, you know, commonly you're going to get like a Ghost type coming in. You could also even go for a move like, even like it's a coverage move, but Shadow Claw. I prefer Crunch because it's got like a chance of dropping the defense rather than the critical hit, which works better over time, especially if you're running a Choice Band set. So that's how I would probably Terror it. It also kind of depends what moveset you want as well. Or you could be a little troll, right? And you could Terror into a Ghost type with Shadow Claw, and if a fighting type move is coming, you know, boom, you get around it and you can actually get that damage there with Shadow Claw, and you can keep using Population as well. It won't have stab, but it still will hit very hard. So just some food for thought there if you are actually using this Pokemon. Now, having a look at this, it does get some other interesting set. It actually gets Baton Pass as well, which is interesting. So maybe you could look at something a little bit different with this set by Baton Passing Tidy Up. You could actually clear out the hazards on the field, and then you could Baton Pass and a potential attack in speed. That's another thing too, as well as retaining its normal signature move and Crunch to hit everything else. You could also give it Mirror Herb too, which is kind of an interesting item with Baton Pass, because you could copy those actual stat boosts coming in, basically like a Ditto, right? And you can get those stat boosts and pass them on, or maybe make use of them. The EV spread, I'm not really changing it too much, to be fair. Like, it works well with max attack and max speed. It's not really that good at anything else, like competitively wise. I would be keeping max speed on it too, just so you can outpace like a lot of faster Pokemon that are fast. If you start losing, like dropping its speed even a lot, it can be outsped. So I'd be keeping it max. And of course, you need to put the rest in attack. We're going to have a look now at quickly at doubles, right? So it doesn't really, for doubles, I mean, it gets Friend Guard. So Friend Guard could be handy at doubles, but then you're giving away Technician, which is a really good ability with Population. So you'd probably have to make like a different sort of moveset with Friend Guard. Personally, Friend Guard is absolutely nowhere near as good as Technician. Technician is the, it's a signature ability that works best with all the moves that it's around. We're going to have a quick look here now at a bit of a meme moveset, a PIMPNITE classic there. We've covered some competitive. What do you think? What do you think of my competitive ideas? Do you think you've got anything to add to that? Let me know, of course, in the comment section of the video. I always like to know about these things. Okay, let's do some fun movesets now. You're probably used to this. I actually come up with a pretty cool Technician special set. Let's have a little look at it. So we've got Technician as the ability. Now, on the special side, it doesn't really get too many options, like, to be fair, but I thought, well, Echoed Voice would be really cool in there. It's going to get boosted by Technician at 40 base power. It's got lots of PP, which is always good, 100% accuracy, and you can also give it the item Metronome as well. Metronome's a pretty cool item because obviously consecutive moves, like Echoed Voice, if you use it consecutively, will get more exponentially powerful, which gets very, very strong after a while. Even though it doesn't really have the greatest special attack known to Pokemon, after a couple of hits, maybe if you get a couple there, you can really get some strong momentum there. Obviously, a ghost type could easily come in, or maybe a steel type could cause you problems, but this is a mean moveset, a little bit of fun. The other move I thought would be cool in there would be Water Pulse as well. It also gets Mud Shot too, which would be pretty good to see, like steel types and things like that. It doesn't really have any ways to boost its special attack at all, like outside of like maybe a berry or something like that, so it's kind of limited, you know what I mean? I thought Substitute would be quite a good move to use on this too, because you get the sub up and you can potentially hide behind the sub and start using like echoed voice over and over again, which would be pretty fun, and you could give that a try. Now, looking at this other moveset here, just some thoughts on the other ability, Cheek Pouch. Look, I was really going over this. I'm thinking, wow, this would be really cool if it got, Recycle, but it doesn't learn Recycle, so straight away, Cheek Pouch isn't really all that good. You could look at something like, I was thinking like this, like Stuffed Cheeks or something like that, but it just doesn't get anything to use Cheek Pouch all that good. You might be able to maybe use it with a berry like, I don't know, like a fun berry, like Staff Berry or something like that, or maybe like a boosting move, but really it's not a bulky Pokemon. Like normal Cheek Pouch bulky Pokemon work well with Citrus Berry, and then you can get the Recycle going, and then maybe you can get some sort of like, draining move going there. It doesn't really get anything on the special side, but yeah, that's how it works probably the best there. For like a bulky set, it really does have the that stats for it either. You go max health, it's not bad health at base 74, but everything else is kind of bad, like it's not really going to be taking a hit, and you really need to Recycle to be getting that berry over and over again. And generally it works well with like moves like Toxic and stalling moves like that with Cheek Pouch. Cheek Pouch is more like a stalling, and like another good example I could say that works well with Cheek Pouch is Deadney. That's quite a good move set there to work with though, but Maushold doesn't really have this. But that's pretty much it to sum up Maushold Moveset. And we ran over a couple of competitive sets, a couple of meme move sets. I really did hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's something a little bit different, but, I want to add some more variety to my channel. If you enjoyed this, if you got some entertainment, some information out of it, please drop a comment on the video. Drop a like there. Let me know, do you want to see more? What moveset do you want to see next? I'd love to try and do all the Gen 9s, and then maybe we can expand out to some Pokemon that, haven't been used for a long while, like Tropius or something like that. That's pretty much it for today's video, people. Peace out.